All right, everybody. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Hope you guys had an awesome Friday. I know I did. It was, for the most part, a stress-free one. Not a whole lot went on. It is Friday, though, and this week ended up being a pretty good week. We had some massive plays like ZCMD into multiple halts, 175% win. Then yesterday we had, we have VIVK and EHGO, clean day yesterday. So, it was a good change of pace this week and a lot looking better. Now, today, again, it was kind of slow. I have some good trades I want to go over with you, and I want to sort of go through a lot of these Chinese halters. And we even also have news with the SEC that I actually want to touch on too. Well, we've had a lot happen this year. Obviously, back in June, we had the PDT removal. Well, now we've got something else. Now, the SEC came out and approved yesterday a new $5 million market cap listing standard. And now, what does this mean for us? Well, stocks that we trade are small cap, low float stocks. And a lot of the stocks, like you'll see today, MSS, VIVK, a lot of these, I think even EHGO, have market caps under $5 million. Now, this is essentially, how right now it's like you have to remain compliant. It's by keeping share price above $1 for consecutive days. Well, now they have got to keep their market capitalization above 5 million for 30 consecutive days. So, what they used to do, right? They used to drive their price down below $1, say, okay, well, how do we regain compliance? Well, we have to do a reverse split. Well, they do a reverse split, right? Consolidate their shares, which lowers their float, right? But raises their price. So market cap goes unchanged. And so you can have these stocks with these teeny tiny market caps, but share price is still, $3, $4, $5, with a 500,000, 400,000 share float. And they just keep on drilling price back down, dilute, reverse split again, and then dilute, and just repeat the process. That's not going to work anymore. So I'm curious what workarounds these companies have to stay above 5 million. Surely they have to do something, whether it's dilution or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out here shortly. But just something important to think about, something you should have in the back of your mind as we see how this all plays out. Anyways, now I want to start by going over what we had this morning. Now, MSS, I thought was going to be a big one today. I really thought this was going to be a big one. And, it's just, I'm not one to go chasing this first leg. I like to trade pullbacks. I like to trade stuff in a range. I like to trade continuation. I don't do well trading stocks that are just gapping up like this on the first 1 minute candle. And so, waiting for structure to form so I can actually take some more, proper logical pullbacks where I've got defined risk, I've got defined range. Well, I try to do that. And of course, we pull back beneath these past lows. I punch it for the break back higher. And it really looked like it wanted to get squeezing back higher. I took it at 450. It got filled at the bottom of the candle. 450, got to move back to 470 for a quick 20-cent win. I'm still looking for continuation. It fails to do that. Overall break even on this trade. Say, okay, well, pulls back again off the 9 EMA. And guess what? Bottoming wick underneath the 9 EMA. So I say, well, let's look for another pullback to confirm. Next candle comes down, retests, again, another bottoming wick. And so I take it look for the break over VWAP to get squeezing back over the highs. Now, again, no continuation. Frustrating. Awesome entry. Awesome trade. I even executed it well, but just didn't get any continuation. I took it there at 430, risking bottom of the candle, and I was looking for the break of VWAP. Scale out into VWAP, looking for the break above, got it risk-free, sold the rest beneath my entry. And so overall on this, for all practical purposes, we're going to call it break even. A little bit in profit, but, not enough to amount to anything. So this here was pretty much break even on MSS, got nothing on this, did not trade it at all else. So that was that. Then, of course, we go on over to LGCL, and then we didn't really get pulling away until a little after open. I eventually had some good trades, but LGCL too, this gets breaking out over yesterday's highs, right? And so I'm looking for pullbacks to hold up on this. I take an entry on the pullback, looking for that next leg higher as it grabs liquidity, right? It pulls back beneath this past low, tries to grab. We get it, this sort of bottoming wick get put in. And so I take the entry, looking to see if it wants to get squeezing back higher. What happens here too? Volume just keeps on drying up. I say, well, this one's not it either. And I just cut it. Again, pretty much break even on this. You can see I might have made a couple cents a share. Like, it doesn't really amount to anything. Now, we go into something good on CJMB. Now, this thing really gets setting up in a pretty good way. And it gets gapping up over a previous high of day over $2 or what, $3 a share. And so I'm watching this, and I end up missing it down here. It's like, well, it is what it is. I didn't get aggressive. Today was not the day. I didn't even have the ice broken yet by the time we got to this point because I had break-even trades previously. And so in hindsight, could I have maybe punched it right here at, 320 for the break of 330 back over the high of day? Probably. I probably could have, and this would have been nice. It happened so quick that I just didn't take it. I maybe could have. Now, anyways, we have this candle pull back. I don't take it. I should have, would have, could have. Anyways, I don't take it. It runs from 330 to about, what, 380, about 50 cents a share. At that point, I'm just watching pullbacks to see if I can't finally get something on this when it finally pulls back. And I'm able to take 2 wins on it. It pulls back, buyer steps in, I take it from 360 back to 380 into the high of day. And then again from 350 back to 370, back up into the high of day. Of course, after this happens, I say, well, okay, this thing's done. And I go ahead and take my exit. So that was that. I did well, 2 trades on it. So while I missed this, I still got 30 cents out of it regardless, or 50 cents out of it regardless. So yeah, I missed this move, but I still played it well. So that was good. Unfortunately, another short-lived move, though. Look at this. Disgusting. Then we had LVWR. Again, this also traded terribly. You can see here I took a nice entry. Would have been, well, you can see it was very little profit here, too. Just about break even on this. So choppy, so thick, so heavy. Look at the level 2 even right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We've seen a lot of this the last few days, or last few weeks. This thing is so thick, so heavy. It is disgusting. So that's that. And then we have this win on OMH. And now this is the one that sort of pulled my day away a little bit. I wish it was cleaner. We've had nothing but these Chinese halters this week. ZCMD was nice. I can't fault that because it was my biggest trade of the week. So sometimes they have their place. It was good. I even caught ZYBT on Monday too. So yeah, you can't manage risk well. No idea what's happening. You just risk getting stuck in a T12. It's not my cup of tea. So anyways, I did play it though. It halts up. We resume over $1, and I was watching it over $1 to see if that $1 level could hold. And so, anyways, it flushes out of the halt, gets bought up. We put in place this bottoming wick off $1 a share. Pulls back again, bottoming wick again off $1 a share. So as it gets bought back up, I take it here, risking the bottom of this candle at 98 cents for that next leg higher, and ultimately I get it from 105. Get a half sold up into the halt at 119. Resume, I get more taken out, a quarter left at 129. And then I sell the rest down there at 113. The reason why I sold here, and I would have held otherwise, I sold here where I did because the halt level was like right here. And it went knifing out of the halt straight down. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to get stuck in a halt down. So I went ahead and just took the rest out over my entry. And that was that. It was over 10 cents over my entry for my last exit. But so half left here, quarter left here, was out full here. Overall, it was good. It was good. And again, if it's now ran, look at this. It's just halted all morning. All morning, just back and forth. I don't want to trade this. So anyways, that's the morning recap. Little green data in the week. Overall, pretty good week. 3-hour day. 5-hour day yesterday. 5-hour day the day before. And now, step in the right direction. Now, we only have these Chinese stocks moving right now, so that doesn't help us too much because this is what happens. This is the crap you get. These low volume turds. Well, this has volume. I don't know who's trading this, but it's got volume. But anyways, that's the Friday recap. Hopefully you traded well today and you stayed picky. And ultimately, well, going into next week, I'm very curious what changes. Do we get the same cycle? Do we get the same theme? Do we get, something new in play, something new in the spotlight? I guess time, like I said, time's going to tell. So comment down below how you did this week, how you did today. A little bit of a slower day today, but overall, I traded really, really well. Extremely happy with execution. And I'm looking forward to going into next week, doing it all over again, making some more money. We'll get out there, see what we can have happen. And all in all, have an awesome weekend. Stay blessed, get some fresh air, get away from the charts. And I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you guys there, either in the free trial, which you can join in the description down below to trade alongside me in real time on stocks just like this every single day. Or I'll see you back for the daily recap on Monday afternoon. I'll see you then.